Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Super Sentai Super Show. Even though it's not called that on the channel, just deal with it. This is the channel where we go to the South a lot. In fact, somebody lives in the South on this podcast.
I, in fact, do live in the South.
See, there we go. Yeah. I don't know. I couldn't think of anything better. I am joined, as always, by my good friend Justice Ray.
Hey, how's it doing? How's it doing?
Yeah, how's it going?
No, I'm not bad. Setting up my AEW Revolution viewing party.
Nice.
Party of 2 people.
I mean, you know, there is still a pandemic, so.
I meant party in the definition of the word being a group of people.
Right.
Socially distanced in a card shop that's already closed for the day. He has to do some orders, so I said, we can put it up in the projector while you do your orders, and that's how it goes. It's a party, air quotes.
Air quotes. And, you know, gotta be safe. We probably could have beaten this pandemic in 2 weeks, but people are fucking stupid.
And that said, you want to shoot to the wrestling the part of this episode?
Sure. Unfortunately, I only watched AEW this week. I did not catch anything else. I just was too busy. But AEW is one show I catch.
Okay, so Impact was okay, I suppose. I didn't really watch Impact. I just read the end results. I was more concerned about making this a 1/2 AEW Revolution predictions episode.
Let me pull up the full card.
I have the full card. I have the full card in my hand.
Okay.
Alrighty. So let's start with the buy-in. Thunder Rosa and Riho versus Britt Baker and Reba.
Boom.
Oh, obviously.
Yeah.
Boom. Orange Cassidy and Chuck Taylor versus Miro and Kip Sabian with Penelope Ford.
I know who I want to win, but I think I
think Miro's taking this.
Yeah, I think Miro and Kip Sabian are taking this. It's just for Miro. I would love for Orange Cassidy and Chuck Taylor to win because I think Chuck Taylor is an absolute treasure.
He's a treasure in a hoot, but we got to keep him strong. Oh, we got to keep Miro strong.
Yeah, we do.
In some way,
he hasn't been doing anything.
Yeah, he's been tied up in the storyline that's been stretching out for so long. This whole wedding thing, which I understand. I understand. You know, pandemic makes the wedding a little significantly shorter because they really want to have a real one with actual legal binding in the ring.
I believe they are actually just married.
Yeah, I know they are. They married about a week prior.
Yeah. All right. Next.
Matt Hardy versus Hangman Page, where the winner gets the opponent's 2021 quarter one earnings. I'm gonna say Hangman.
I want to say Hangman, but it really depends on what's TH2 doing this for this.
They don't have a match.
Right? They don't have
wait. They're not even in the Tag Team Royale.
Yeah, so that's my concern is TH2 shenanigans.
I mean, Bear Country is in the Tag Team Royale, and they're not.
Yeah, Bear Country is. Hell yeah, love Bear Country.
I mean, I'm not saying that as a negative for Bear Country. I'm I'm all about it, but I'm just surprised by the attendance to this Tag Team Royale. But we'll get to that because that's the next match after. But I mean all of Dark Order's in the Tag Team Royale except 10.
Except 10. So unless 10 and 5.
10 and 5 are. I don't know if they'll be available to hang around and help out. Colt might help, but that's 3.
That's 3. Yeah.
And then you have TH2 and Private Party.
Mm.
Well, Private Party is also in the Tag Team Royale.
Tournament, or the Battle Royale.
So
I want Hangman to win, but I think TH2 shenanigans. I think Matt Hardy's going to win that to continue the storyline.
I think Matt's kind of okay to take an L on this one, especially for Paige. I think it's just a kayfabe loss of money.
Yeah,
and I don't like the sudden turn for Matt Hardy being so money grubbing after that match he had with Sammy Guevara in the last pay per view. It don't really have an excuse as to why he had the switch flipped. He is the I get it, but like he wasn't talking about money when he beat Sammy's ass. That looked more like like cold blood Matt Hardy or something like that, which I just love saying out loud. Cold blood. Um, but yeah, I see Hangman winning this one.
All right.
Uh,
I think Matt
no,
Hardy's
sorry.
gonna win due to TH2 shenanigans. Of
Mm.
course, just to continue that feud and storyline, and to get Hangman more involved in the Dark Order.
True, but on the same token, like Dark Order can actually come in and help him out during a
Yeah.
match, see him through, and then it'll give Matt Hardy like more room to feud with the Dark Order afterwards.
That's true.
Like because like he's been guilted by the money that he lost, and then there can be another circumstantial match at the next pay per view, which is probably Full Gear. I want to say, it'd be All In by that point, or All Out.
All Out.
Yeah.
Well, no, Double or Nothing's the next.
Oh yeah, Double or Nothing, right? Because they only have 4 pay per views.
Yeah.
Okay. So next match is Casino Tag Team Royale. Got Bear Country, Reynolds and Silver, Uno and Stu, Santana Ortiz, The Butcher and the Blade, Private Party, Top Flight, Pac, and Ray Phoenix.
So I know Santana and Ortiz are not winning because they've already had a recent shot at the title, which they should have won, in my opinion. But so I know.
I mean, there's a lot of stories going. There's a lot of stories going on in here.
Yeah.
I mean, you got Private Party probably get jumped by the Dark Order.
I would love for Bear Country to win because I love Bear Country, but they're not going to win.
Top Flight's definitely not winning.
No, Top Flight's not winning.
They still got a lot of growth to do. Butcher and Blade's not winning. Private Party, probably not.
Probably not. I think
Santana Ortiz win by Sammy helping them out, and then unexplainably leaving the room.
Interesting.
Either that or Sammy will get involved in MJF and Young Bucks. But I also feel that would take away from the Young Bucks story with the Good Brothers. And I feel like the Good Brothers might actually cost them the tag titles. But that's going ahead.
Hope not. But I think it's going to be John Silver and Alex Reynolds. I think it's their time. I think they're going to come through. There's 4 Dark Order members that they can like hold out.
Yeah, but that was also 4 in the last match.
Yeah. But there are also like 6 Inner Circle members last time too. So.
Oh yeah.
So the Dark Order has the numbers on their side. I do think like with how over John Silver is, just in general, I think that it's a good time to push him and Alex Reynolds. So I think they're winning.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going with Santana Ortiz. Face of the Revolution ladder match with Cody Rhodes, Penta El Zero M, Scorpio Sky, Lance Archer, Max Caster, and still a blank spot they have not announced yet.
Yeah, because that's going to be somebody totally new.
I mean, that's what Big Show teased. Well, sorry, no, I'm Paul White. Sorry, no more BS.
No more BS. But even on like the AEW Unrestricted podcast, Tony Khan was talking about how there is somebody coming into the ladder match they don't know about, and then on top of that, there's whoever Paul White mentioned.
All right, so we have 2 reveals.
2 reveals coming out. So
something.
I know that the last time they did a reveal like this, it was Brian Cage, and Brian Cage won. I don't know that they want to repeat that. So I would like to see Scorpio Sky win, but I also wouldn't because he's just going to lose to Darby Allin because it's not time to take the title off of Darby. So I'm gonna give it to Penta. I think Penta can eat an L from Darby, be okay, and still put on like a really, really fantastic match.
I'm gonna go with Lance Archer.
I mean, that's a safe bet. That would be fun.
I mean, he's currently on the upswing.
He is on the upswing.
So I won't be the chump that says, but that to be determined. The person's gonna win.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna repeat that with the way they did with Brian Cage. I think that's too predictable.
All right. So the street fight between Sting and TNT champion Darby Allin versus FTW champion Brian Cage and Ricky Starks with Taz. This is going
Sting.
to be a cinematic match, so
I think
probably Sting winning.
Yeah, Sting and Darby are going to win that. I don't think it can go any other way.
I wanted to take it into a graveyard, get some straight up Vampiro on this. Like
That's who's signing. It's Vampiro. And Gangrel. Gangrel signing.
Oh no, yeah, Grangrel's like still like they still have his phone number and his Vampire Warrior. He legally signed for that.
All right.
Anyway, AEW World Tag Team Championship match with the Young Bucks versus Chris Jericho and MJF and Wardlow. So I've already kind of shared my opinion on this. That I feel like Sammy's going to. I feel like Sammy's going to get involved to help Santana Ortiz and try and like get them to splinter off the group. So I don't think he's going to get involved in here, though I think there'd be room for it. But I also feel like the Good Brothers are probably going to get oh wait, no, I got to figure for the splitting death match. Yeah, so I would feel Sammy would get involved here.
Okay.
But it would be interesting for Sammy to get involved here, but like it still like backfires in some way.
Yeah.
I don't know, but
I don't think
the Bucks are losing the title. Yeah, I don't think the Bucks are losing.
No.
And if they're going to lose, they're going to probably like lose the FTR in an actually well-developed match this time.
Yeah, I think that the Bucks lose their titles to a really good established tag team, and not Jericho and MJF thrown together. I hate that. I hate this personally. Like, I don't like that Santana and Ortiz were brought in to be the inner circle like tag team, and then they're hardly used. Like,
no, wait. Young Bucks win because MJF reveals that he was working with Sammy the whole time, and they just cast Jericho out of Inner Circle. That's me. Because I already said earlier that I feel like MJF and Sammy are working together. So yeah, that's gonna be the end result. That's my prediction.
Okay. I don't think Sammy and MJF
10 confidence points. 10 confidence points.
I don't think they're working together. Not after Sammy pissed all over his award for real. So.
The vlog isn't plot. The vlog isn't plot.
I don't know. Feudoso
I watched both.
Feudoso finally has his big match against QT next week, so the vlog's doing something.
Fair. Feudoso against QT Marshall at Dark.
Yep.
I mean, they got Tony Khan to say it, so sure.
Finally, QT can't duck the master of the tornado DDT.
The master, he hasn't done it yet.
I've seen him
never
do
finished it.
I've seen him do it.
Like, it's fictional.
Outside of AEW, I've seen him do it. So.
Likely story. Anyway, AEW Women's World Championship: Hikaru Shida versus Ryo Mizunami.
I want Ryo Mizunami to win. I think Hikaru Shida's had it long enough. The only problem is nobody knows who Ryo Mizunami is. Like,
Ryo Mizunami has. I don't think she's moved here yet. So, I don't want a case of Riho where like they only defend it like every quarter of the year. So I think Hikaru Shida, since she lives in the area,
that wasn't necessarily Riho's fault. They were having problems with her visa.
Right. Yeah, I understand it wasn't her fault, but I understand it wouldn't make it like a thing that happened again at some point, unless they were secure the visa and travel issues wouldn't occur with like COVID and such like that. So I feel like Hikaru Shida is going to take it, and we just kind of like go and build stars. New stars, because like I would have said that like Anna Jay would have probably been like the favorite to win if she didn't get her elbow injury.
Oh, everybody thought Britt Baker was going to win this.
I don't know,
because I don't think Britt's ready for a title. I don't think she'll be ready for a title in like a year, personally. I see Ryo Mizunami winning because she has so much momentum. She beat Aja Kong for the first time in her career. She's basically come out of retirement for AEW. She's excited to be here. So I think she has and she took out Nyla. once Nyla got to like the finals, I was like, oh, it's Nyla. We're gonna get
A
Sheeta
rematch.
v Nyla 3, which I'm fine with because I love Nyla Rose. But
Mm-hmm.
Rio went over Nyla, and so I feel like she has the moves and the power to overcome Sheeta.
Hmm.
Also, she's just a lot of fun to watch.
Hmm.
So that's my thoughts.
Okay. That sounds legitimate. But I'm going for Hikaru Shida.
Okay.
To be contrarian. Wahaha. So AEW World Championship defended in an exploding barbed wire death match. We have Kenny Omega with Don
Ooh.
Callis versus Jon Moxley.
Well, I know Kenny's winning it.
Oh yeah,
For
this
sure.
whole championship collection story isn't going to end. Just like we have a whole Omega symbol on the Impact pay-per-view. So yeah, there's no way that Mox is going to take it. But it's more a matter of what do we predict will happen to Mox that will.
I think Mox is going on paternity leave. That's what I think's happening. I think
It
this is
would
gonna
sound
be.
legitimate.
I think this is gonna be crazy. I know they wanted to have Onita actually there, but because of like COVID restrictions and quarantining, he would have missed a prior engagement that he had already signed up for in Japan, so
Mm-hmm.
he couldn't do that. I hope they have Terry Funk there. Seems like the next
Uh,
logical person to have, but I know that Terry
it'd
has
probably
not
be
been in the
it'd
best of
probably be
health.
Dory Funk more than
Yeah.
Terry because Terry's having some health issues.
Yeah,
He
Terry's
kind of
having
needs to
some
stay home.
he does need to stay home. So
I'm sure he's watching. So just
oh
send him the
yeah,
code for the pay per view.
have Nick Foley on. Why not? Is Nick Foley signed to WWE? I don't think so. I think he's
I
just
don't believe so.
yeah.
That's
Um,
like he's free to appear wherever he wants. He doesn't have a Legends contract. That said, like I'm sure he's watching from home. Like he
yeah.
doesn't need to be there live. And Big Show, sorry, Paul White said that it was going to be a Hall of Fame worthy
Yeah, I don't. Oh no,
appearance,
I don't think. Well,
but mixed.
whoever appearing from Paul White is signing a multi-year contract apparently.
Right.
So I'm not saying that Mick Foley needs to appear and like sign or anything. I think he doesn't need to be wrestling ever again.
I wanted to be Scott Steiner. Big Papa Pump.
Yeah.
He's not in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, he'll never be in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, he'll never be in the Hall of Fame. So he should appear in AEW. It's just Steiner math. That's just how it works, okay?
That was the post I was going to make on Twitter. I still might.
He has a 77 and 2/3 chance of showing up at Revolution.
I think you mean he's got a 141 and 2/3 chance.
Oh, 141. Yeah.
The numbers don't lie.
The numbers don't lie. He's fat.
I love that promo. It's my favorite promo of all time.
Screw Jon Moxley. He's fat. That is not true. That is not true.
No, it's not.
Jon Moxley's built like a brick shit house.
He is. Please don't hear this and hurt us.
He's just gonna come in and he's gonna pull me over with his little badge, like from that movie he was in. Just police brutality to unscripted violence and off the car speaker.
But I think this
funny story.
Easy.
I went to take a shower and I have a Google Dot in my bathroom.
Uh-huh.
So before I was going to shower, I said, "Okay, Google, play unscripted violence by the Violent Idols," and it goes, "Okay, playing violins." What? It still played the song, but it's more like I think the Google Dot was fucking with me. I don't trust the Google Dot anymore. Alrighty. So, you want to hop to other? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, Kenny's taking it, but I think the match is going to be crazy. I think it's going to last way longer than we expect it to. I don't think it's going to be like Okada levels of time, but it's going to go for quite a bit.
It's going to go for quite a bit. It's going to be bowling shoe ugly in regards to just like the sheer carnage they're going to put apart.
JR's going to hate it.
He's going to hate it.
Going to hate it so much. Man.
Jim Cornette is doing a draft of his tweet about how much he hates it. He's already setting it so that way he can release an hour after the pay-per-view is over.
I wish Marco Stunt had gotten some offense on Tully Blanchard so I could read about how Jim Cornette shit out his own spine in anger. But that didn't happen.
Tully dressed weird. But Tully came out with the NWA World's title. FTR came out with the NWA tag titles. Just coming out like champions they're not even are. But whatever, man. Who are the NWA tag champions?
Is it still the Midnight Express? The Rock and Roll Express. Sorry.
Right, they took that. Yuck. I forgot that happened. Glacier was NWA Tag Team Champions for some reason.
Well, you know.
Oh, no, wait. Aaron Stevens and J.R. Kratos are current.
Well, apparently NWA is going to be coming back soon, so.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
So it's Aaron Stevens, J.R. Kratos. They won the titles at UWN Primetime Live November 10th, which is the federation that Aaron Stevens runs. They won it off Eli Drake and James Storm, who won it off the Rock and Roll Express. And a 3-way. So yeah, they're currently
James Storm?
Yeah.
Of Beer Money?
Formerly of Beer Money, yes. Currently back in Impact. Working with
Chris Sabian.
Chris Sabian. Yeah, I was getting there. I still hate Chris Sabian's little finger thing. I don't get it. He's driven it to the ground over his decades of wrestling. I don't get it, and it's whatever, man. Chris Sabian is just he's an okay talent, but I never really got the character behind him. Even though he was making fun of Jerry Lynn at one time, calling him an old man and shit in his diaper. That was classic. But you're making fun of Jerry Lynn. Like, yeah, it's not fair. Classic NWA TNA. Jerry Lynn was the shit, though. Yeah, I've been watching a little bit of like videos from NWA TNA.
Fair enough.
With Brian Lawler complaining about like Jeff Jarrett macking on his girl Ryan Shamrock. Things are weird. Yeah, Jeff Jarrett beating on Bullet Bob Armstrong for whatever reason. Yeah. It's classic TNA.
Yeah.
It's only going to get a little bit worse and a lot better from here, and then way worse after.
All right. So who are your predictions for the new talent coming in? Because I think the one Big Show's talking about is Thea Trinidad. I think she's talented enough to be considered Hall of Fame worthy, not necessarily in the Hall of Fame. Like her career was trending up that way before she was released, and she's not signed with anywhere. The women's division needs more people who can give it a boost. I think she's a perfect catch, and I think that makes sense. As for who's coming into the face of the Revolution, I got no idea, zero idea. CM Punk, why not?
The face of the Revolution ladder match. I want to be Warhorse.
Oh, yeah. Please be Warhorse. That'd be great.
Please be Warhorse.
I mean, okay, look, that sign Warhorse thing, that got trending for a little bit, and that was an accident. That was I made a joke. I was making like a joke prediction, and then he retweeted it, and then I was like, okay, well, I guess I gotta up the ante now. And then he retweeted the ante, and then the ante started trending, and I was like, oh no. I don't think he
vanity searches. I think he just says, oh, I've been retweeted. Retweet. Like I have a shout out retweet. He just smashes that button. It's like Car levels of retweeting. Just Oh, you said my name. Retweet. You said my name. Retweet.
But yeah, that was an accident for anybody who saw that. I did not mean for that to start trending at all or be viral for any length of time.
Don't apologize for something that you meant in the long run. You know you felt it in your heart that you wanted him to be signed.
I do want him to be signed. I really do. People are still tweeting "Sign Warhorse." So, sorry to Warhorse for all the.
He's just trying to sleep.
He's just trying to sleep. Yeah. Okay. So, Face of the Revolution, Warhorse. Yeah, I'm down for that. Got it.
And I guess the Hall of Fame worthy talent.
He said it's not who you think it's gonna be. Like,
I want it to be Monty Brown.
Who?
Monty Brown from early TNA. He left the business to handle some family issues. I believe he volunteered himself to raise a child that his sister passed away. He was unable to take care of it. So Monty Brown went home, even though he's in the top of the food chain in the career. He was the alpha male, Monty Brown. He left ECW as crap, what do they call him? I know it was something. But he had a good theme song in ECW. Like, you're going down, 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 down. I'm gonna put you in the ground.
Speaking of in the ground, AEW did for the ratings 934. Oh,
934? I thought it was 972.
I'm reading from Brian Alvarez's.
All right, under 1 million, but they did take the 50 demographics, so Christopher Daniels can stop painting.
NXT, just under 700,000. So
yes, I thought it was 638 or something like that. Something like 630 or something like that.
I got 692 on Brian Alvarez's Twitter.
Oh hey, the Smash Bros. Ultimate update's out now. Yay! Yay! Are you Team Pyrrha or Team Mithra?
I don't know who those characters. I know who those characters are, but I don't know who those characters are. Like, I know of them. I've never played a Xenoblade.
Okay.
Chronicles or whatever.
It's a great game.
It looks fun. But, and apparently, like, if you want, like, a physical copy, they're going for, like, 100 plus now. And I'm just like,
nope, digital.
I don't
Hard pass.
I don't like digital copies of games. I like to, like, own the media.
I like to own the media sometimes, but like there's limitations. Like my wallet is a limitation. Like I love me some physical. I love me some limited run physical editions. I wanted to get the Streets of Rage one because it said it was going to come in a Genesis cart, which is dope, but I didn't get around to getting the money for it. But yeah, I might get the physical version of Super Mario 3D World with Bowser's Fury because I just kind of want to experience it. But I just haven't gotten around to buying it just yet. But I did get Xbox Game Pass, so I've been playing the Yakuza series.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going through Zero. God, I love these games. I went through a good significant portion of the telephone dating side quest, which is just hilarious. If you ever get a chance, watch the telephone side quest, the telephone center side quest. This is see the serious face that Kiryu has when he asks, "Tell me about your body." Like the pose that he has, he's like ruminating over what he should say next, and then raises his finger up while still frowning about the question he wants to ask. And each time you get prompted for this, he gets closer to the screen until he finally says, "Can we meet?" And it's just all like to his face, and he still has that frown. It's priceless. Also, seeing Kiryu do a little Michael Jackson kick out in a spin move, and you're like, "Whoo!" is just great. Just great comedy. Someone described Yakuza as the side quests are basically 4 coma stories with like actual emotional depth between it. So like all your side quests are filler arcs and they come off like 4 coma gags. Like Kiryu has experienced some little girl crying outside of a Sega Center. What will he do? Wait, no, that was a Majima story. Sorry. Yeah, that little girl was looking at dolls, so Majima was like, "All right, I'll go ahead and get you that doll, and you have to go through a UFO catcher game in order to get the doll for that little kid." And it's just sweet. Up until like the end of that, where they're like, "Oh, that little girl's all alone. Let's kidnap her," and then like Majima has to fend it off, and everything of the sort. So, you got that going for you. It's still a crime-driven game, so there's a lot of like really shady characters you're gonna have to like dispatch, but it's juxtaposed by there's one mission that Kiryu has to be a tutor for this one woman who's trying to be a better S&M dominatrix, but she doesn't have the authoritative tone that you would expect from someone like that. So Kiryu has to kind of guide her to be authoritative. So you have to actually feed her answers. Situations where like she should just be like, "Yeah, grovel beneath me," and Kiryu just being like, "No, you should be more authoritative, more backbone in your voice."
Right.
Yeah, so that's what I've been doing. I also got Bloodstained Ritual tonight, finally, so I can play some Metroidvania. I got all the Kingdom Hearts games, so I'm basically content to live my life in the rest of my apartment for the rest of the foreseeable year. While also watching Super Sentai.
Speaking of Super Sentai, you want to talk about this week's episode?
All aboard the Segway! So, I watched both shows this time.
Nice.
Like I usually do.
I did not.
So, that's fine. You can always be the one who meticulously watches the Super Sentai. I will watch both, and like I'll do the comparisons, but I don't know about the meticulous part because like some things just weed in and out. But I will interject as I always do with the differences between Wild Force and.
This one has to be like super different, right? It has to be.
Okay.
Because we have this whole Tetomu side quest.
Oh no. All right. So if you're wondering if Shayla gets down and like she starts fighting people, no. That is not happening. Shayla wears too long of a dress to do that with. Tetomu is just like that priestess outfit is a Miko outfit. It is made to fight in like Momoji from Ninja Gaiden. Like, so that does not occur. But I will interject as I feel like with the differences because it's not cookie cutter, but you get a certain like well. It's not too cookie cutter, but the title's there.
Nice. All right, so we watched episode 5, or I should say quest 5. Ooh. Anyway, yes. Episode 5, The Mountain Moves, which I feel like, taking a whole mountain away from a mountain range is probably bad for the ecosystem.
Oh yeah, it's totally bad for the ecosystem, but also incredibly more apparent.
Yeah.
Like, you can't hide that. We had a mountain here, guys. We call it Mount Elephant.
What? Okay, so
in case you're curious, the episode on Wild Force is named Ancient Awakening.
Oh.
And it starts with another case where the Power Rangers really need to stop showing off their superpowers while they're outside. The White Ranger is out on her bicycle. She has left the command center to go to archaeological dig. She has her jacket on, which is so stupid. Like, she has her jacket on that says Noble Tiger. It has, like, the helmet print. If you're trying to hide your identity like some of these Rangers actually try to do, you're doing a terrible job. But she is out there. She runs into, like, a situation where her bicycle is about to get upended on the way, and she does the highest leap to leap over all the traffic. And I believe she lands on a railing and doesn't grind so much as ride on the railing on the wheels with perfect balance. It is absurd. And the degree in which you need to make meticulous directions in order to avoid everything she had to avoid was on Danny levels of just sheer bullshit, which is just convenient because Danny's sheer dodgery bullshit was last episode. So that's what we're going with. Alexis is on archaeological dig. She hears the trumpet of the elephant, and she's like, "Huh, that's interesting. I'll bring it up when I get back to this command center." So that's the start of that episode. So the start of our Super Sentai episode goes.
The start of the Super Sentai episode goes. We cut back to shooting, getting fucked up by the rock, and then the Rangers getting
his hand is fucked.
His hand is fucked. But what in the world could this scroll and this rock be? We're gonna go back to Gaoranger, which is in Yokuma City, and the scroll is absolutely janky.
It has been worm eaten, I believe the term they used.
Yeah, that's what Gao yells. Is like, is there any fucking reason to have this fucking worm eaten scroll? This is bullshit. But they're trying to read through, like, warrior, a Minamoto, so-and-so, hunted orgs with giant beasts. Hey, that's kind of like
if this is your idea, us. If this is your idea of a terrible Mad Libs, I'm not playing.
Yeah. Tetomu busts out of the fountain in the middle of Gaoranger, which is weird.
Shayla does it too.
Oh, okay. But she's like, oh, hey, I found the secret power of the sacred power or thing. There's a Gao jewel inside. They're like, what? Fucking really? There are more power animals? That's crazy.
Like, you said Hakujuken sword. You say 100 beast slasher. you know there's 100 beasts. Stop lying to yourselves.
The Gaoranger pull it back and forth between each other, going, "What? Really? I don't see anything." Like, only for Tetomu to be like, "Hey, give that back to me. You guys are idiots."
They're trying to open it up like it's some kind of Kinder Surprise egg.
Yeah. So Tetomu is just like,
you wonder why those are banned in America.
It's because kids are stupid.
Kids are stupid.
So Tetomu is trying to concentrate on this rock because she wants to find the next Gao spirit. But she's concentrating on it. It starts glowing, and it starts to project the image of an elephant totem thing. And they're like, "Oh wow, that's an elephant! Like, it must be Gao elephant." Well, yeah. What else would it be? Come on.
Gao Dumbo. What?
But they're like, "Hey, the scroll must be a clue to find Gao elephant." It's like, "Oh yeah, that makes sense. Of course." We cut over to Shooten, who is like, "Oh, curse you, Gaorangers! I will never forget this burn you've caused on my hand. Man, they did not make you grab that rock. That is on you.
It's on you."
Yeah, he's just like.
But I blame the Rangers. Boo hiss.
Boo hiss.
In Wild Force, the Master Org is musing about having grabbed the orb, and he doesn't have a burn on his hand, but he's very mad. So, he just pieces off into the lair, and Yabaiba and Jindrax and Toxica discuss that they have to find a new org.
Yeah.
They just go, all right, we need to find an org to keep up the war we got going.
Yeah, that's basically what Suisui and Yabaiba are talking. Yeah. Shuten's like, why was there such a power in that rock? That was fucking dumb. They're like, yeah, he looks mad. Let's go find a new org to go defeat the Rangers really quickly. And that'll make him happy. We're like, yeah, that makes sense. So we cut over to some motorcycles, doing motorcycle stuff, when a very, very badly plays blue screen tire. This is bad. This is 1990s bad.
They actually carry over this footage.
Okay.
Yeah. Right down to the motorcycles, but they conveniently have a white dude come out from the car that was crushed on the side that Americans have drive cars from, on the left.
Right.
So he comes out from the left side of the car like, what happened? Instead of the right side of the car where the Japanese gentleman was like, what the hell happened?
Yeah. So this giant tire is causing trouble in traffic. Motorcycles are crashing. It's bouncing on top of cars, crushing them. Not as much as they could be crushed.
I mean, it's a very heavy tire. You would think it'd be immensely dense, and it would just cause massive deaths. But okay,
Okay.
no, I guess we're not doing piano crushing
We're
anymore.
not doing piano crushing anymore. We cut to a police checkpoint where they're trying to stop the tire, and I don't understand why the tire stops. He doesn't know these are orgets. He could have just fucking plowed on through and kept going and having fun. But he does stop. He changes into his monster form, which is not just a giant tire. He's like, hey, get out of my way. But look, it's the orgets. He's like, what? Oh, hey, look, they're the one-horn dukes. What do you guys want? They're like, hey, you look like you're having fun. How would you like to have fun all over the world? He's like, yeah, that just sounds great. He's like, cool. Help us destroy something, and we will help you go wherever you want to in the world. Boom, fuck shit up.
So, if in case you're wondering what the difference is, there's no cute orget transformation from the police stop here. It's just Jen Jackson's Toxica standing right in front of the wheel and being like, "Stop!"
Yeah, pretty much.
All right,
Oh.
and cause some havoc, please. Thank you.
Okay. He's just like, I was already doing that.
I was kind of on my way here. You said 5 Rangers? All right, got you. All right, bet.
So we cut over to Gaoranger where they're trying to study this scroll that just looks fucked up. Like, it's bad. I would have thrown this away. Like, oh, that's not in here. But they read a passage that they think is talking about Gao Elephant. And when Red starts pointing out, hey, look, it looks like it's mentioning a lot of other beasts. And Yellow's like, yeah, there's something about a next beast over here, too. That means there are way more power animals that we have to find. Gao Black points out a word that looks like animal. They're like, oh, man, there are at least 4 more power animals. Like, oh, that's great. Yeah.
Yeah, you would think it'd be 1 for each of us. Yay, we're included.
Yeah, we're included. That's when the pool of water starts going crazy. And they're like, is that an org? Should we even check this out? It's not even a very big power. What about Gal Elephant? We should be working on that. It's the energy is too small to even tell if it's an org. This is when Tetomu's nose starts twitching.
This does not happen across Wild Forest. And that is a disappointment. The little twitchy nose is the cutest thing. We're nose flares up. We're in trouble.
We're in trouble. This is how the B plot starts. So while the Rangers are like, hey, should we even worry about this? Tetomu's pissed. She's like, what the fuck that is an org? Get out there. Go fucking do your jobs.
It's killing the people. Do stuff. Go. The hell? What did I hire you for?
Yeah. What am I paying you for? They're like, what about the new power animals? She's like, no. Go. I got it. Get out of here. Fuck off.
Fuck off.
The Rangers get pushed out of Gaoranger. Like, give me a break. Ugh. This is when Yellow pulls White aside.
I'm too lazy to do my job today. Yep. I just wanted to look for. I just wanted to go on the fetch quest. I wanted to go on the side quest.
Gao Yellow pulls Gao White to the side and says, hey, did you see it? And she's like, yeah, it was twitching. Gao Red's there too, but he doesn't know what they're talking about. We cut over to the tire org. And he's like, yeah, I'm fucking up cars. The Gao Rangers have no choice but to come out now. Gao Blue, Gao Yellow, and Gao Black all show up. They're like, hey, we're here to fuck you up. We're not going to allow you to just do what you want. And he's like, yeah, so there you are, Gao Rangers. Wait a minute. 1, 2, 3. There's 2 of you missing.
Son.
And they're like, yeah, guess what? It will just take the 3 of us to beat your ass. You're just a tire.
So, in case you're curious, in Wild Forest, Shayla volunteers to go and look for the Gao Elephant, and White decides to go along with her. I'm sorry, Alexis. Decides to go with her, and Cole decides to tag along with her. As in, are you sure you want to go alone? I'll go with you. And they decide to go. So instead of actively dividing their forces, they decide to go and look for the spirit animal, and then the pool goes off, and Taylor, Danny, and Max have to go and answer the call.
Gotcha.
So yeah, so that's why they're split up in there like that for That's the excuse they have for that.
Gotcha. Meanwhile, we cut over back to Gal Rock, and Tetemu's like, Gal Elephant, I'm gonna find you. She's concentrating real hard, but just nothing is coming to her. Nothing at all. She's like, this is no good. I need to relax. I just have to relax. I'll be cool. Let's watch some TV. She picks up the TV cord and it turns on, of course, because why not?
No, she's already shown off that power.
Yeah, I know she's already shown off that power. It's still just weird. Tetomu is watching horoscopes. Apparently, she's a Leo. And they're like, it's like horoscope for Leos. Your lucky color.
Bold of you to assume she'd be anything else.
I mean, I guess, yeah. She's like, your lucky color is white. Wear a white dress. Your lucky food is soft serve ice cream. Your health, wealth, and love all look great. And Tetomu smiles at this, and we cut to the outside of Gal Rock, and it's Gal White, Gal Red, and they're like, and Gal Red's like, what the fuck what are we doing? Why are we just here? And White's like, shut up. And the announcer of the show, the voiceover, lets us know that it's very rare to see Tetomu go out on her own. What's gonna happen next? Gal White and Gal Red follow as Tetomu walks out. We cut back over to the other Rangers fighting the Tire Org, and they are not having a good time. Their blades just bounce off the tire, which is
they ain't doing the best.
Which is weird because later they're gonna defeat it with a sword.
All right.
I'm just saying, Gal Red makes the statement: blades don't work on you, but you can't, fight heat or whatever, and they kill him with a sword. Just like. Anyway.
Yeah.
Sui and Yabaiba show up. They're like, yeah, kick their ass. We cut back over to Tetomu.
Yeah, kick their ass, you ass.
Yeah. Tetemu's just wandering the city with Gal Red and Gal White trying to hide out of her vision and follow her. And she's like, God, which way is south? I do not know directions. Red's like, what the fuck's going on?
How did you ever get around the Anamarium without a compass?
Right.
You think you'd actually know where north is at all times, by virtue of being in tune with the center of the Anamarium. You'd know where, I would imagine you would know where due north is at all times.
One would think.
But all right, whatever. Not one of your superpowers. Noted.
In the foreground, Red is asking White, what the fuck is going on here? And White's like, hey, usually Tetomu is calm, collected, but every so often, her nose twitches, and then her personality changes. In the background, Tetomu is being approached by three gentlemen who are like, oh yeah, we can help you. Blah, blah, blah. We don't hear them say that, but she goes off with them. Now, not to be weird, right? But I know that Japanese TV is skewed a little more mature because they don't sugarcoat shit. So I really thought that there was gonna be some really pervy shit about to come out of these men's mouths. Thankfully,
they only do a shakedown, which
they only do a shakedown,
which is appropriate and actually it happens a lot in Yakuza.
Yeah.
A lot of the times you'll see somebody be pinned against a wall by three people.
Yeah.
And you can interject to get an item for it.
Absolutely.
But it's usually three people. So when I saw three people for a shakedown, I'm like, Kiryu's gonna show up in this episode and kick their ass. It totally checks out with the time.
Absolutely.
No, wait, he was in prison at this hour. Moving on.
But Tetsumi walks off with them, and White and Gal Red turn around to see that she's gone. They're like, where the fuck did she go? We watch her follow these three guys, and she's like, wait, is an elephant really this way? They're like, oh yeah, sure is. It's Ella fork over your cash. Which is dumb. It's bad. I hate it.
That felt that didn't feel like an actual line said by actual Japanese individuals. But I feel like that was a dub. There's no other explanation besides, the dub told him. The dub is telling me this. All right, moving on.
Gal Red and Gal White show up, and Gal Red's like, "Oh no, we gotta help her." And Gal Red's like, "Nah, just watch. This is gonna be cool. This will be awesome."
Might as well get some popcorn.
Yeah.
This is gonna be a treat.
So we're seeing these three men just circle around Tetomu as her nose starts twitching again. Like, hey, what the heck is this? And they try to take the rock from her. They do take the rock, but she's like, "No, give it back." It falls out of one of the guy's hands. It starts glowing, which alerts Shooten to the fact that it's in play. He's like, "Oh man, the power from that rock. This time for sure, I'll get it." We cut over to Tetomu, who's like kung fuing these guys to death. Well, not to death, but she's knocking them out. And she's like, "Come on then," and she fucks them up. She gives the guy a bloody nose, like one punch. Boom. Red's like, "Holy shit, what the fuck?" And White's like, "Yeah, see, she's fine. She's all
Why
fine."
isn't she a ranger?
Yeah, why isn't she a ranger? We cut over to the tire org, who is just fucking up these rangers real bad.
Because he's made out of rubber. Nothing sticks to him.
Suisue and Yabaiba join him. They're like, "All right, we're gonna kill the rangers. We got it. We have the upper hand. This is great." This is when Shooten appears, and he's like, "Hey, go fucking take care of this rock." Master Shooten, we're about to defeat the rangers. Like, "Yeah, that's not important. Shut up. The rock is to the south. Go get it. It's important to me, and you got to go do this." And I'm like, okay, we were really close, but fine. Tire org, change of plans. We're gonna go to the south to get a rock. Meet us at the south side of the city." And the tire org,
why don't you leave the tire org there and go get the stone while you only know like 3 rangers are being currently incapacitated? Like, your goal is to kill the rangers.
Right?
It's actually in your job description, and they're getting bodied severely. Just let it rock.
The tire org's like, "This fucking sucks. We were winning, but fine. Henshin." And he transforms back to a tire and drives away. And the other ranger's like, "Yeah, you get out of here." They're like, "Oh man, why do you leave?" So they contact Red and they're like, "Hey, the tire org seems like he's headed your direction." Like, "Okay, got it. We'll find him as soon as we take Tetomu home." So Tetemu's sitting on a bench, and Red's like, "Hey, don't go acting out on your own. It's dangerous." Tetemu's like, "But we gotta find Gao Elephant. And y'all are always so busy, so I thought that I could find him so that you didn't have to." And Gaora's like, "Yeah, okay, I get that, but you shouldn't try to do it alone." And Tetemu's like, "What? I can't? What do you mean I can't? There are some things."
Didn't you read my manual that I had printed out?
Yeah. There are things that I could do too. Her nose starts twitching again when Gal White is like, "Hey, oh, calm down. Here's some ice cream." And Tetemu's like, "Oh yeah, ice cream. Yay." She starts eating ice cream very gingerly. She's like, "I remember something that the previous shaman told me, that there were other animals other than just the animarium, like over 1,000 years ago, that fought the orgs. But in the fight, they were lost and they couldn't get back to Sky Island." And Red's like, "Oh, so one of those must be Gao Elephant, right?" She's like, "Yeah, duh, stupid."
Yeah, duh.
She's like, "But they must be feeling so alone, so we have to return them to Sky Island. That's where they want to go. But just where could they be? I don't... But I do know that Gao Elephant is in the south." And they're like, "Really? You know that Gao Elephant is in the south?" We cut over to the tire org, who's looking around for the rock. And Shooten's like, "Hey, you're almost there. You're very close." And he does. He pulls up on them, knocks Red and White to the ground, and Tetomu to a bench. And he's like, "Hey, give me that fucking rock." And Tetomu holds onto it real hard. She's like, "No, you can't have it." Red tries to tackle the tire org, gets thrown away. He's like, "You know what? Fine. If you're not going to let go, I'm just going to take you too. It's fine. I do not care." And he drives away, or he tires away. Whatever.
So as far as Wildland Force is concerned, Shayla also gets kidnapped in the same way, but she was not being like an offensive effort in this one. So they kind of like skip over the whole like kidnapping part, and instead take that minutes of footage and slap it on to what's about to occur. So Shayla gets kidnapped. I like how in both versions they have a convenient chair that just doesn't like. It's just seated in a position where it doesn't rotate with the rest of the tire, or we'd have basically just like a Shayla shake or a Tetomu smoothie,
Yeah.
like inside of that tire. If it moved along with her, but if she moved along with it, but
Right.
I guess it's just like one of those like inertia defining like
This is one of those things.
inner tire things. Yeah. So the Rangers then start the chase after the tire org.
Yep.
But the differences here are like across Wild Force and Gaoranger. And in Gaoranger, they do the stupidest fucking poses. But I mean, not the poses, but just they make the efforts to move at like the speed in which it takes to catch up to the tire org with their own bodies. So you have like the Gal Blue just swimming through the air, and like and like Gal Yellow's flying, but like I thought Gal Yellow can only glide, but yeah, they're going down.
Yeah.
Wild Force decides we gotta sell some motherfucking toys.
Oh boy.
So instead of that, they the spirit animals call to them with the same whistle and come down from the animarium in the form of the Savage Cycles. Vroom vroom.
Oh god.
Everybody gets to check out their new motorcycles. Everyone's all happy. They all get on, except Cole, who decides to leap onto the bicycle with his 2 feet where you're supposed to sit. And he expects the cycle to move without any input. He just goes, go on, boy. Yeah.
Wow.
Come on. Apparently, since Cole was raised in the jungle, like for like all of his formative years until just joining the Rangers, he doesn't understand how a motorcycle works or a bicycle in general. So Alyssa, that's her name, not Alexis. Sorry, Alyssa comes back to her and comes back to him and goes, "You pull on this pedal," and he pulls back on it like, "Wah!" and just flies the hell off. And they decided to follow after the tire org with the Savage Cycles. Now, the shenanigans with motorcycles and Alyssa does not stop from the first part of this episode. It continues. She decides to take the effort to leap up with her Savage Cycle and land on the tire while it's still moving and try to keep it from moving with her own tires. That's not how physics works. None of this is working. Like, it hurts my brain to see that they actually filmed regular new footage for this scenario just for this fucking scene. Ugh, ow, hurts. Why? You'd think it would throw Shayla off, but they eventually stop the tire org, and then we go back to cookie cutter footage. So that is the introduction of Wild Force, and that we've established that we're going to sell some motherfucking toys.
Hell yeah.
Savage Cycles in stores now.
Wow.
Yeah, I told you I was going to get my catchphrase in today.
We cut over to Yabaiba and Sui Sui, and the tire org pulls up. He's like, yeah, here I am. I got the rock, and I got this girl. That's like bonus, right? Like, who is this woman? They're like, it doesn't matter. She's being a pain, so I just brought her along anyway. Like, okay, whatever. The young lady, hand over that rock. She's like, no, don't underestimate me. I'm the Gaoranger's big sister. They're like, big sister, huh? All right, we're gonna fuck you up then.
Okay, so in Wild Force, when Tire Org reveals that Shayla is in his custody, the Master Org has a slightly pervy conversation with her, and that he establishes that only the Pure of Heart can actually gain access to the spirit animal behind the wall that Alyssa found when she was on her archaeological dig, and he does the whole villain prowls around you while talking spiel,
Right.
and Shayla's all terrified and everything. The Rangers she does the white Ranger comes through to save the day and gets beat up for her troubles by 3 different people, one of them being the Master Org, causing her to demorph. And then the Master Org goes, "If you're not going to help me get the spirit animal," blasts the wall and just goes, "Then no one will get the spirit animal," and then decides to leave. Instead of having Princess Shayla, the master of the animarium, and a Ranger at his at his mercy, he decides to just leave. So I just think that either show, their villains are just allergic to finishing the job.
Right.
Like, finish your food, you fools!
So
Kill Gal White! Not kidding.
So Tetomu and Yabaiba are like menacing. I'm sorry. Suisui and Yabaiba are menacing Tetomu with Orgets, the Tire Org. They're all like gathering in on her. She's like, oh no, what am I going to do? This is when Gal Yellow shows up, flies through, grabs her, takes her back to the Rangers, and they're like, oh, you okay? She's like, oh, you guys, you saved me. And that's when the Tire Org's like, what the fuck are you guys doing here? Like, it doesn't matter. Now that you're all here, we're going to kick all your asses. The Rangers.
Not need to fuck. There's 5 of you. All right, finally.
Finally, the Gaorangers do their usual poses: the noble lion,
the fist and claw,
shark, noble eagle, or I'm sorry, blazing lion, the iron bison, and the bell tiger. They're all here. Bell tiger, because she's a girl.
Yep.
Wherever there's life, there's a roar of justice. Gaoranger! Rah!
Rah.
All right, now that we're done posing, let's go fight. The Gaorangers pull out their like special weapons to like beat up some Orgets, which is weird to me. I don't know why they needed their like special weapons for that.
I mean, like it's not a reoccurring subject in Super Sentai where like what degree the Rangers use their weapons or everything of the sort. Like,
right?
You like. Zoo Ranger was like, how long can we use the daggers until we finally use our power weapons? But yeah, it would just mostly be like the daggers that turn into guns and everything. But you only have the spirit daggers for like whistling purposes of sorts, so they don't like go into full dagger mode. They have the weapon that just comes to them. So why not?
Yeah. Tetomu gets an Orget knocked into her, which sends her flying, and she hits a sign. She reads the sign, she's like, hey, wait a minute. Mount Sleeping Elephant. Legend says a giant elephant that fought with heroes against demons is hiding within this mountain. Wait a minute. We're looking for an elephant. Oh, this has got to be it. This is where I've been looking for. Now, where is the elephant? Eureka. She's very happy with herself. The Tire Org, we cut back over to him. He transforms into a tire, and he just starts running over Rangers because that's, what else is he going to do?
That's what a tire is going to do.
He's a tire.
At least it's not like 2 tires like Axel from Twisted Metal.
Right.
That'd be dope. But alas, we're not going to have that. No. So we have just one single tire.
One tire. Gal Black says, you can't stop the sumo champ if you're afraid of that, which is so weird. It's out of nowhere.
That he just declares himself sumo champion?
Yeah.
It wasn't even established in his back history, right? Like,
no. But he's like, yeah, here I come. He tries to stop the tire, and he holds onto it for a while before it just runs over him and fucks him up.
So. The recurring gag of like Gal Black like tanking everything like a dummy.
Like a dummy.
It's like Reinhardt just holding his shield out like, get behind me, friends. My shield will protect you. My barrier is overloaded.
Oh no.
Dar! Let me charge. And then die. It's basically a Reinhardt play.
They all help Gal Black get to his feet, and Gal Yellow says, never give up, which we learned last episode. To never give up. So I think we're cool.
He doesn't say this in Wild Force. Moving on.
But Gal Red's ready to charge the Tire Org. Gal Yellow stops and is like, hey, look, our blades do not work on him. What are we going to do? He's like, oh, that's fine. I've got an idea. Like, okay. He's like, hey, come over here, you tire monster. Come get me. He, like, pats his ass. Very Japanese kind of taunting.
Mm-hmm.
And the Tire Org's like, you're not going to make a fool out of me. He's like, yeah, I am. Come here. He chases after Galred, who runs away. Galred gets him to keep chasing until he finally flips over this tire. Like, good job, Toro. He pulls out his Lion Fang, transforms it into the main Buster.
It's the same canon from the last 2 episodes.
Yep.
In stores now.
And he fires on the tire org, which works. He's like, your blades bounce off you, but you can't beat heat. But they'll still defeat him with a sword later. Like,
let it go. You're supposed to build up to that. It's what's called dramatic tension.
He changes it into the main buster into its final mode, and he fires a Gao Blast and kills the tire org, proving he doesn't need the other Ranger's weapons to help him defeat orgs. He can do this shit by himself.
He can just do it himself, which will be a recurring feature.
Tire org dies, and Yabai was like, "Oh no!" Only for Shui to throw in the org seeds to make her monster grow. I do like her little spell, but
it is a recurring phrase of hers.
Yep. The tire org is all good to go. He's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna crush y'all.
I'm fuck you up.
Fuck you up." Gaoranger summoned the animal spirits, the Gao animals, and once again transform right away. So they're never, I don't think, ever going to just let the animals try to take it one-on-one ever again.
No, that would take the sting of the Gao elephant's appearance.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of like bearing the lead. If the 5 power animals decided to strike at a tire org instead.
Yeah.
Even though one has claws, you would think that would actually be able to pierce the tire, but like blades don't work on this guy.
Blades don't work on this guy. Well, I mean, Gao Eagle has like that meteor shower thing it does. I just think like they're like, not using Gao Eagle to its full potential while transforming as the Gao King.
Was it a meteor shower? Or was it
it's
like
a laser
like
thing?
Feather shards, like a feather attack?
It's a feather attack, but it comes down as lasers. Anyway, Gao King's here now, and they're ready to just fuck it up. Like, all right, here comes our Tiger Shark and our Shark Shot and our Tiger Attack, which is their punching motions. Which they punch it, and Tire Org's like, no. It's like, your punches don't work on me. They just bounce off, duh. I'm rubber. And he starts fucking him up with his axes. And
guys, our two-piece biscuit combo doesn't work. We have to change our approach.
Yeah. Turns into a giant tire, fucks him up some more. Tetomu is like, oh, okay, the rock's really glowing now as I'm looking for Gao Elephant. He must be around here. I can hear your voice. Where are you? Shun can feel this too. He's like, what? What are y'all doing? The rock power is increasing. Do something about this. Shui shows up and she's like, hey, give me that fucking rock. And Tetsumi's like, no, I will not. She's like, all right, then I'm going to kill you now. As she hits her with lightning, which very effective. The Bell Tiger, Gao White, sees this. Her gem goes into its pedestal, allowing Gao King to still function, but she takes her blade with her. Very important.
Very important.
She attacks Sui and goes over to Tetomu. Is like, hey, go look for Gao Elephant. Just leave her to me. You got to bring the elephant back to us, okay? She's like, yeah, I can do that. Sui is like, I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna fuck you up. Tetomu starts focusing on the rock, saying a little prayer in her head, I assume. As Gao White is getting just totally
bodied.
Yeah. Yubaiba and Sui are too much for her. But as Tetomu...
Which is paltry in comparison to what, like, Alyssa has to deal with. Like, she got it from all three sides.
Yeah. And
still managed to get the elephant orb. So, kudos to Alyssa on this one.
Yeah,
I guess they booked her strong.
But Tetomu's concentration pays off. She gets the elephant gem. A little light comes out from it and flies towards the mountain, showing an elephant face. Gao White's getting real fucked up. Tetomu runs over and is like, hey, put this Gao jewel in your sword. And she throws it to her. She puts it in there and she's like, all right, come back, Gao Elephant. That's when the mountain busts apart.
Bursts open.
I mean, after a big shiny light protects her from being attacked again by Yubaiba and Sui. But a mountain bursts apart. No more mountain. Now there's an elephant. A big blue metal elephant.
And it starts trumpeting. It never gets old.
Never gets
It
old.
runs up and crashes into the tire and knocks it on its ass.
Yes. Does all that. They're very excited. So yeah, the elephant does do that. It uses its tusks to knock the tire org away. Gal White is on top of, back in the Beast King. She puts her new gem and in this front. She puts her sword with a new gem in it onto the pedestal, and the elephant forms a shield and sword,
which is dope.
It's very cool. It's cool.
One step better than Zooranger's black mastodon shield.
Yeah. They're like, sword and shield. And he's like, that won't work on me. It's a blade. Duh. And he throws his axes at them, and they're like, hey, elephant shield, do your thing. It blocks the axes fall away. And he's like, what? And they're like, all right, come on, elephant sword, fuck him up. And it does.
I don't really think it's so much a sword as just like a segmented whip. Like,
it's still a bladed whip.
I mean, but it's multiple blades. That said, did you take down the name of the attack on this one?
It's the powerful bisection evil crusher.
Yep. You want to know what it is in American?
Please tell me.
Pachyderm basher.
Wow.
Yeah. We cut corners in America.
We do. But it does do a cool whip sword thing and destroys the tire org. It is toast. This is a little better than the Care Bear stare.
No, I prefer the vibe check every time.
Every time? All right.
Every time.
Well.
But this is all just like pedantic. It's just, spirit animal of the week from this point forward. We're gonna have 5 episodes where it's just everybody gets a new toy, and to what degree it powers up the Megazord in certain degrees. It's also it's the setup for what will eventually become the Six Ranger saga. So, get accustomed to everybody getting their own episode. This was as far as Super Sentai is concerned, this is as far as Super Sentai is concerned, this was White's episode, but it never felt like White's episode when I watched the Super Sentai, but more than it felt like Wild Force. It was White's episode because Alyssa had a lot to do in the beginning of the episode, and it's her that was discovered where the elephant was going to be, and she took the beating from 2 Duke orgs and the Master org, morphed and got her new toy.
Right.
So, going from the previews, it looks like well, I couldn't turn off the previews of Wild Force, so it's blue, but it's the blue episode. So we're going in a cycle, I guess.
Yeah.
Where.
That makes sense.
But it should have been yellow, then blue, then black, and yeah, you get it. Anyway, everybody's gonna get their own little backstory episode.
Well, that's good. The Rangers run up to Tetomu untransformed. They're like, "Hey, we did it. We did cool stuff." And she's like, "Yeah, thanks, White. Thanks for saving me." It's like, "No, you saved me. We're all friends." Yeah.
We're best friends.
Red is like, "Hey, you all knew that Tetomu's nose thing was her changing personalities?" And like, duh, we've known her longer than you.
Yeah, noob.
White
Way to go, scrub.
White asks, how long have you actually been living in Gaoranger? She's like, well, I was brought there when I was still a baby, so if I had to guess, I don't know exactly how long, but I think it may be about 1,022 years. And they're like, what the fuck? They're all very, very shocked by her age because she's so young looking.
Mm-hmm.
White thinks it's amazing. She's like, wow, your predictions were spot on. She's like, no, it wasn't my predictions. I saw it on TV. They're like, what? It's like, yeah, it said to look in the south. They're like, what? It's like, TV is amazing. And that's how the episode ends. So, fun times. Yeah, all in all, standard Ranger episode. Still good. Still enjoyed. And apparently we've had a lot of differences between this and what happened in Wild Force. So very cool. Thoughts? Anything? Ray? The episode was so bad, Ray has walked away.
Sorry about that.
Oh, hey, there you are.
Yeah, sorry about that. I had to get my power cord.
No, you're
I
fine.
had like 8 minutes of this whole thing would have been ended.
So I was asking what your thoughts about this episode were.
I believe I shared it that I felt like Wild Force did this more justice in regards to like being a white centric episode.
Right.
When she really needed one, but it felt more like a Tetomu episode than a white episode.
Yeah.
And the fact that Wild Force scaled everything back from Shayla and gave it more to Alyssa felt more in balance and in tune with what they're trying to aspire for. Plus, Shayla has a lot more stories for her and coming in the future as far as what I remember at Wild Force. So scaling it back to give Alyssa some spotlight is the key plot here. This was more of a Tetomu episode to me.
Yeah, no, I get that. I agree. Yeah. So I didn't put out a question post today, so I mean nobody would have answered it anyway. So that's just like.
Oh, you need to have more heart about that, but I understand it. It's hard to get reach.
Nobody answers any of my question posts on any of my podcasts. So
no.
But so we don't have.
I'd answer the questions, but I can't. I'm impartial.
You're gonna be on the podcast. So yeah, all in all, good episode. Don't know what's happening next week. I guess we're doing something with Gal Blue apparently. So unless they're gonna,
everybody's gonna get new toys.
Everybody's getting new toys.
In stores now.
So yeah, so that's the end of this episode, I think. Hey Ray, where can people find you online if they want to talk to you about stuff?
They can find me on Twitter at just1ce Ray REI. So it spells out Justice Ray as my name entails. Somebody had it before I did. I don't know who they are, but fuck them.
All right. Well,
and how about you? Where can they find you?
You can find me, as always, on Twitter at DatFirePrincess, spelled D-A-T. You can find me on the numerous podcasts that I do. I do 3 currently, trying to continue to do more, because I have no fucking self-worth or sense. This is what I do. Get depressed about podcasts. But, yeah. Like, such entertaining shows, like Let's Pull the Trigger on the podcast, where me and my friend, Doc Sea Monster, are going through everything by Studio Trigger. Everything. It's like this, but for Studio Trigger. We just finished Kill la Kill, and are now working on When Supernatural Battles Became Commonplace, which is just maybe sure to let me down. just down.
Oh.
Well, because the first episode started out with a lot of promise, but the second episode looks like they're setting up for harem anime, which feels like a waste.
I mean, you gotta cater to your base there. I mean, in some aspects, you're making shows try and entertain the adult audience, or try to inspire some like some sexiness to try and build up the population. But
well, I mean,
that's been my excuse for harem anime for the longest.
I mean, we're gonna get to their did you know that birth rates are down anime here in a few shows, because that is exactly what Darling in the Franxx is all about.
Oh yeah, that's what that's all about. We got to pop some babies, boy.
So yeah, so that's it. So until next time, remember, where there's life,
I forgot the line, sorry.
There's a roar of justice.
There's a roar of justice, sorry. I was trying to find the line as we were going, and I just couldn't find it.
It's fine.
I failed you.
The dogs share the same sentiment. So we're gonna get out of here. Everybody have a good time. Laters.
Laters.